Ginger Rogers was a Golden Age actress who remains best known for the series of films she starred in alongside fellow legend Fred Astaire. Fred always considered Ginger his greatest on-screen dance partner, though the actress also made a name for herself without Fred in films like the 1941 noir Kitty Foyle. Join Facts First as we explore how the true story of Ginger Rogers' death is way more sad than you thought. Ginger Rogers was born in Missouri, July 16, 1911. Her mother was a failed actress who had previously suffered a miscarriage. This meant she ended up pinning two separate hopes on Ginger just as she was born. For one thing, Ginger's mother wanted her to survive. For another, she wanted her to become a star. Ginger's suffering began when she was only a small child caught in the midst of her parents' tumultuous relationship. Her mother ended up leaving her father while Ginger was still young. After Ginger and her mother moved out, her father kidnapped the young girl in the midst of a custody battle. Unsurprisingly, the kidnapping pushed the custody battle in the favor of Ginger's mother, and the young girl never saw her father again. It's likely this separation was for the better, but it's inarguable the entire experience left a great emptiness in Ginger that plagued her. Not all that long after losing custody of Ginger, her father passed away. During her teenage years, Ginger Rogers started up a vaudeville act called Ginger Rogers and the Redheads. The act was a success, and it showed she had some serious performing talent. At age 17, she met the man who became the first of her several husbands. This was Jack Pepper, and he and Ginger's relationship was considered scandalous for two reasons. For one thing, Ginger was 17 when they married, and had been even younger when they met. For another, Jack Pepper had previously been the boyfriend of Ginger's cousin. Ginger suffered through numerous failed marriages. Despite the red flags, Ginger was adamant she wanted to marry Jack Pepper, but the relationship didn't last long, 10 months. After that marriage fell apart, she traveled to New York City with her mother. Already a seasoned performer, young Ginger made quick work of Broadway. She got plenty of attention in 1929 when she performed in the play Top Speed, and another hit play came her way not long after in the form of Girl Crazy. It was there she met Fred Astaire, though it was years before the two ended up starring together. At this time, Fred was a choreographer working behind the scenes of the show. Ginger eventually made her way to Hollywood, and so did Fred. By the time they were starring together in their iconic pictures, Ginger had appeared in over a dozen films. On the first picture Ginger and Fred made together, Ginger got first billing. Fred went on to eclipse Ginger in the eyes of much of the public, and he secured first billing on all their subsequent films together. Despite this glaring fact, there was never much bad blood or competition between Ginger and Fred. Both loved what they were doing and understood the other desired relative independence. They cut their working relationship short after a string of hits that started with Flying in Rio in 1933. Before we tell you more, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Ginger's work with Fred Astaire became iconic. Fred Astaire had a reputation as a perfectionist. He always demanded the best from his dancing partners. By the end of it, he openly considered Ginger to be the best dancing partner he'd ever worked with. Sadly, this didn't stop Fred Astaire's popularity from growing to eclipse Ginger's own soon after their film debut. 1933 also marked the start of Ginger's relationship with her second husband. This was an actor named Lew Ayres, who she'd met on the set of a film. The pair married in 1934 and separated in 1936, but they weren't officially divorced until 1940. The period of time between her separation from Lew and their eventual divorce can be considered arguably the years where Ginger was most famous. These were also the years she caught the attention of Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes was obsessed with Ginger. Howard Hughes became fixated on Ginger Rogers during the mid-1930s. He was known to be an avid womanizer, but his obsession with Ginger was something else. Over the course of their relationship, Howard eventually convinced Ginger to become engaged to him, but he never achieved his goal of becoming her husband. Still, the story of their relationship is scandalous indeed. His fixation started out innocent enough, even if Ginger wasn't all that interested in the wealthy playboy. Howard persisted, and his persistence inevitably paid off. For a time, he managed to secure Ginger as his love interest. However, after his first marriage proposal, Ginger told him she wanted to take a break. She then became involved in an extramarital affair with the director of her and Fred Astaire's Swing Time, a man named George Stevens. It seems Ginger was having a hard time securing her divorce from Lew Ayres, and this was something Howard Hughes eventually helped with. Though they had parted ways, Howard came back into Ginger's life in 1940, and his lawyers finally helped her get her divorce. Howard did so with the intention of stepping in and finally getting Ginger's hand in marriage marriage himself. Ginger resumed dating Howard and even accepted his proposal of marriage, but she did so with the caveat that she was going to save herself for the night of their wedding. The more Ginger prolonged the marriage, the more jealous Howard became. It got to the point where Ginger accused Howard of doing such things as tapping her phone and following her. By this point, Ginger was understandably no longer interested in the prospect of marrying the man. Howard Hughes ended up getting into a car accident, and he used the incident to try to butter Ginger up with guilt and get her to marry him. It's possible the event was entirely staged. Ginger saw through the ploy, and this incident finally put things to an end between the odd couple. Ginger Rogers made a name for herself with Kitty Foyle. Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire's professional relationship came to an end around the same time that her romantic relationship with Hughes ended. In 1941, Ginger appeared without Fred in the noir Kitty Foyle, and she received immense acclaim for her work. The film stands as one of the most iconic works featuring the actress that doesn't feature Fred Astaire. Kitty Foyle represented the peak of her success in her own right, but sadly she never found success in love. Following her divorce from Lou Ayres, she married 3 more times. She was with her 5th husband when she died, and her death was just as tragic as much of her preceding personal life. It seems Ginger was afflicted with diabetes, and the affliction was something she had denied her entire life on account of her Christian Science faith. She refused to take insulin, and her 5th husband allegedly had to trick her into taking the drug by telling her it was vitamins. Despite this, Ginger Rogers fell into a diabetic coma and passed away in 1995. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite memory of Ginger Rogers? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content. By the way, if you haven't joined Facts First as a member yet, be sure to look below this video and click the join button. By becoming a paid member of Facts First, you'll get access to exclusive video content that you won't find anywhere else. This includes some of our more mature content that isn't suitable for public audiences, which includes topics like Hollywood actresses who posed for Playboy and some of the steamiest moments in movie history. Plus, you can enjoy these videos completely ad-free. Our biggest fans will notice they also get badges next to their name when they leave comments on our videos. We pay special attention to comments from our members, and so do other viewers. So if you want exclusive content from Facts First or inside access to discussions with other community members, click the join button to get started for just $4.99. There are hours of members-only videos waiting for you, with new videos added every month. And we're actively working on bringing even more features to help fans like you connect with other members and get more of your favorite content. Just click join, and we'll see you inside the membership tab.